Putting on the headsets. You see if we can make a connection.
Connected, Your Honor. Sorry.
All right. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Joana Andrea Catania Cárcamo. Catania Cárcamo.
And Andrea Catania Cargo.
Ma'am, you're here in case 2021 CF 8723 AO on charges of aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, domestic violence. I did review the charging affidavit in your case. I did find probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to set your bond in this case amount of $3,500. Condition of your bond is you have no contact with the victim in this case, that you maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement if you need it to retrieve any personal items from a shared residence with law enforcement. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. We want to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. Do you have any questions about the no contact order in this case, ma'am?
A ver, sí tengo una pregunta. En primer lugar, no creo que tengan $3,500 para pagar eso. Y yo tengo hijos.
Let's see. Well, I have a question. There's no money available. $3,500. I have children.
That's fine. You're first, what could be charged as a first-degree felony, punishable to 30 years in prison. So the charge is very serious that you're facing. Or another charge that you could be facing is attempted murder with a weapon, which might be give you life in prison. So the charge, the amount is appropriate in this case. You have a great day, ma'am.
Señor, ¿me permite
Have a great day,
hablar,
ma'am.
por favor?
Your Honor, if the interpreter could have the case number one more time, please.
2021 CF 8723 AO.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, that was my only case for this morning. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
Pops up. Well, just in case.
Welcome to an Econo meeting. You are entering the meeting
That
now.
one case.
You are the only participant.
All right. This is 2021 MM 318AA. Miss Susan Locker, going to appoint a public defender to represent her in this case.
I'll waive the appearance.
I'm going to charge an assault, so I'm going to release her on mental health pretrial release in this case with conditions that she does not have contact with the victim in this case. No weapons, no firearms, no drugs, no alcohol. She needs to turn over weapons and firearms to law enforcement within 24 hours of her release. I'll give her a one-time return with law enforcement if she needs it. She doesn't qualify for mental health pretrial release. I'm going to set her bond in this case amount of $1,000 with the same conditions. No contact with the victim, no return, no weapons, no firearms, no drugs, no alcohol. And a one-time return. This 2021 MM 5137 AO. I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent Mr. Sazan. Maybe?
I'll waive the appearance, Your Honor.
All right, the court did review the charging affidavit, did find probable cause for his arrest. Going to set his bond in this case an amount of $2,000, condition of the bond. He had no contact with the victim in this case. He needed to maintain a separate residence from the victim. Give him a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items he has at that location. He may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms he has need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of his release. He also may not possess or consume any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. Good Morning, can you tell me your name?
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Brandon Barch.
All right. What happened to Glover? The sign interpreter case? Okay. Okay. That's all the Lord. My belly was blocking the sticker. All right, can you tell me your name one more time, sir?
Brandon Barch.
Mr. Barge, you're here in case 2021 CF 8746AO on charges of battery, dating violence, resisting officer with violence, resisting officer without violence, and bribery. I did review the charging affidavit in this case. I found probable cause for count 1, 3, and 4. Did not find PC for the with violence, but a lesser included offense of without violence.
Understood, Your Honor. Stated, notice the same.
All right, since there are two charges, pretty much I'm gonna go with the same incidents. Going to, in case of count 1, I'm gonna set your bond, sir, in amount of $500. Count 2, I'm gonna RR you as to that count. Count 3, I'm gonna set your bond amount of $100. And count 4, I'm gonna set your bond amount of $1,000. Condition of your bonds that you have no contact with the victim in this case. You're to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you may have at a shared residence. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. Do you have any questions about your no contact order?
Okay, so she has a lot of belongings in my apartment, so
Okay.
there's one time that she could come by the apartment and come get her stuff.
Well,
Is that what you're saying, Your Honor?
if you are to, I can't give you any legal advice. You may want to talk to your attorney about how to handle that situation.
Okay,
You
I'll-
can't have any contact with her. It's a one-way street. So I would advise you like that. So if she's trying to have contact with you, it's on you to take every precaution and avoidance to keep from having contact with her. All right?
And I have another question. What does ROR stand for?
We're going to release you on your own recognizance as to that one count. So you have bonds on 3 counts and not on 1, okay?
So what does that mean? That
You
means
don't have to pay a bond as to count 2.
so I can bond out today, is what
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Do I take this? Okay, thank you.
Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Jermaine Foley.
Mr. Foley, you're here in case 2021 CF 8709AO on charges of domestic violence, battery by strangulation, and battery domestic violence. They reviewed the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Need you to cover your face, ma'am. Ma'am, can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
Stephanie Floristin,
I can't hear you.
Fleuristin.
Okay, and say your name. I couldn't hear what you said.
Stephanie
All right, what's your last name?
Floristin.
All right. Ma'am, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, man, put your hand down. Can you tell me how you know Mr. Foley?
He's my baby daddy.
All right. And do you want to have contact with Mr. Foley while this case is pending?
Yes, sir.
I can't hear you.
Yes, sir.
Has there been previous instances of domestic violence between you all in the past?
No.
Are you aware of his previous domestic violence history?
No, not really.
State, would you inform the victim?
Yes, Your Honor. In Orange County, he has a 2020 BAT DV. The victim in that case being Miss Dixon. He had a 2020 non-arrest, or a 2021 non-arrest BAT DV. Victim in that case being Miss Floristin. Hasn't been filed on yet. We just received it in May.
Ma'am, with knowing that, you still want to have contact with this defendant?
Yes.
Did drugs and alcohol play a role in this incident?
No.
I can't.
No.
Okay, there we go.
There's an allegation of alcohol, Your Honor,
No.
within the affidavit.
I'm aware. All right, Mr. Foley, in count one, court's going to set your bond amount $3,000. Count two, $500. Condition of your bond will be subject to pretrial release supervision. You to have no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You also may not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You'll be subject to random drug and alcohol testing at your expense through pretrial release. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. You have any questions about your no contact order?
No, but I do have a question.
Well, I want to have you talk to Ms. George, who's been appointed to be your attorney in this case, before you ask me on the record. All right, have a great day, sir. Have a great day, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Virginia Guzman Rios.
Ma'am, you're here in case 2021 CF 8747AO on charge of battery on a person 65 years or older, battery, domestic violence, and aggravated child neglect. Did review the charging affidavit in this case. Did find probable cause for your arrest as to those charges.
Your Honor,
Go ahead, Ms. George.
on the aggravated child neglect, I believe it was she kicked her brother. That was alleged in the arrest affidavit. I would argue that there is PC for child abuse. However, I do not see anything that would indicate that he suffered a significant injury.
Yeah, the statute is actually a little odd. It's
Your Honor,
basically any time it's almost like this. If you had a child and two children got into a fight at school and one punched the other, it's technically aggravated. Like one was 18, the other one was 17, is aggravated child abuse or child neglect. The statute is kind of odd in that manner. It doesn't track with the regular aggravated battery statute.
Your Honor,
Read the
my only input into this is I believe the officer's intent was child abuse,
Yeah.
not the aggravated child neglect, due to his PC statement at the end of the affidavit.
Let me look at I agree with you, child abuse probably, but. Not sure aggravated child neglect is a charge.
No, Your Honor,
I'm looking at the
reading
statute.
Statute, it seems like aggravated child abuse, which I would contend is not present in this case. There was no willful torture, maliciously punished, willfully, unlawfully caging. However, state would contend that there is just straight child abuse and the intentional infliction of the physical injury upon a child, given he was 17 years old.
All right. So the charging affidavit doesn't necessarily clarify what says 2B. which is the only question I have then is 1B. Or so I'll say, or 2C, I guess, would be the actual charge. 2,
Yes, Your Honor, that is the,
so the question is that a lesser included offense or?
it's all within the same statute.
Yeah, but the elements are somewhat similar, but not identical. So I guess you could. Because you could neglect a child and cause great bodily harm. I mean, if you did it intentionally, I guess maybe. All right, I'll find PC for child abuse, which is for statute 827.03 sub 2 sub C.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I'm sorry, ma'am. Can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
Michelle Lozowski, Lozowski.
All right. Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right. All right. Say your last name again.
Lozowski, Lozowski.
Your Honor, I believe
All right.
she is the
Yeah, I see.
victim
I'm
in
trying to. There are a couple
count
people.
2.
Yep. All right, ma'am. Can you tell me how you know Ms. Guzman Rios?
My daughter.
All right. And do you want to have contact with your daughter while this case is pending?
Yes.
Has there been previous instances of domestic violence between you all in the past?
I did, Your Honor, and she checked herself into a mental institution after that.
Did drugs and alcohol play a role in this particular instance?
A bit.
Which one?
Alcohol.
All right. Does she take psychotropic medications that she's supposed to be taking?
She takes medication, yes.
And does she see a therapist on a regular basis?
Right.
All right. The problem is, Ms. Page, does she qualify for PTR? No? No? All right. Even with this, the regular child abuse doesn't qualify? All right. All right. I'll do this then. All right, ma'am. Count 1 will set your bond amount of $1,000. Count 2, $250, and count 3, $500. Condition of your bonds is that you are to have no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from this victim's. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. Make a condition that you keep up with all your mental health appointments and take all your psychotropic medications in the doses of which they're prescribed. You are not allowed to possess or consume any other drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You'll be subject to random drug and alcohol testing at your expense. I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you in this matter. Ma'am, the reason I can't give her contact with the other victims since they're not here. 1 is a minor child. 2, my order is always subject to the division judge and alternation and maybe have better resources and plans for her in this case. Right now, that's going to be the conditions right now, no contact, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, everybody have a great day. All right. Sorry, Madam Interpreter. Have you already been sworn in? I think you're on mute. I can't hear you. I figured you. I saw your mouth moving. I think you can hear me. All right. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna hang up and call you back and see if that solves the problem. All right.
Welcome to an Econo meeting. You are entering the meeting now.
Can you hear me now?
There we go. Sounds better. You just gotta turn the TV and lift it up. All right. No, she's gonna come a little closer than that. Can you see her, Madam Interpreter? Or how well can you see the defendant?
I can see her, but I'm not sure how well I'll be able to see her signing.
That's what I'm concerned about. She's gonna come closer to the TV.
She moves closer to that, whatever camera that is? Okay.
And she can remove her mask so she can interpret a conversation with the interpreter. All right.
Thank you.
Madam Interpreter, have you been sworn in this morning?
No, I have not.
All right. Do you solemnly swear you'll translate from English to American Sign Language and American Sign Language to English to the best of your ability, so help you God?
Yes, I do. Brenda Stansberry, nationally certified legal interpreter.
All right. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
I actually can't see her signing. It's very, very fuzzy. Yeah.
Better?
It's better.
Let's try it again.
CBN. Is Ebony? Ebony?
There we go. I think.
Yes.
Can you tell her to turn a little bit to the right because the camera is where she needs to do her signing. So she, there you go. All right. Ma'am, you are here in case 2021 MM 5129 AO on charge of battery domestic violence. I reviewed your charging affidavit in this case. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in this case amount $250. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. You to have no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from the victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at the location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. Do you have any questions about your no contact order, ma'am?
I understand. I understand.
You have a great day, ma'am. All right, thank you, Madam Interpreter. That was my only case I need your help with this morning.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
You too. No stuff with the mover. All right. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Darius Lamar Harris, Your Honor.
Mr. Harris, you're here in case 2021 CF 8738 AO on charges of battery, domestic violence by strangulation. I reviewed the charging affidavit in your case. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Set your bond in this case amount of $5,000. Condition of your bond, you have no contact with the victim in this case. You need to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have in a shared location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. You are out on bond in case 2020 CF 10800AO on charges of burglary, battery on a law enforcement officer, resisting officer with violence, petty theft with 2 prior theft convictions, and trespass on property after warning. The court's going to revoke the bond in that case, going to set a new bond at $0 in that matter. Mr. Harris, looking at your criminal history, not sure if you've ever attended a batter's intervention program or you're supposed to attend one at some point, but you may want to consider that.
Yeah, Your Honor, I'm in it, but the thing is,
So, I mean,
you said
it'll solve you. It'll probably, if you complete the program and do everything that you're supposed to do inside that program,
Yes,
it'll
sir.
probably give you the tools to help better deal with situations and stop you from seeing me for cases like this. All right?
Yes, sir. Now, it's always 2 sides, though.
Yeah, I understand. But, that situation, you learn to, you'll give you the tools to understand how to communicate with that person and to take yourself out of the situations before they get to the point where you're going to get arrested.
I thank you for the advice, Your Honor.
All right. All right, have a great day. All right, good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Jamarcus Lane.
Mr. Lane, you're here in case 2021 CF 8724AO on charge of battery, domestic violence by strangulation. They reviewed the charging affidavit in this case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Let's see one thing. That's a different victim. Going to set your bond in this case, sir, in an amount of $3,500, conditional your bond that you have no contact with the victim in this case. You need to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you may have at a shared location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release.
I'm sorry, you said 2,500 or
The $3,500. Going to appoint a public defender to represent you in this matter. Do you have any questions about your no contact order?
all right. So my little brother stays in the back of the complex.
Right.
Okay, and then the main road where I gotta go to take care of my kids and stuff to school is that road, and it's like 500. So all she gotta see is me like crossing, and she's gonna call the police or something, which I told her not.
I'm telling you like this. I can't give you legal advice or facts of the case. You may have to get creative on how you want to deal with that situation.
Okay.
But, you know what's going to happen if you get seen outside of her apartment or within 500 feet of her.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
it's going to be on you to figure that out, all right?
Yes, sir.
Have a great day. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Morning. I'm Denzel Rakowski.
Mr. Rowalski, you're here in three cases, 2021 MM 5116 AO on charge of battery domestic violence. You're also here in case 2021 CF 8707 AO on charge of battery on security guard or licensed security guard. You're also here in case 2021 2021 MM 5117 AO on charges of 2 counts of battery. They reviewed the charging affidavit in this case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Count 1, I'm going to set your bond amount of $500. 2021 MM 5116 AOs be $500. 2021 CF 8707 AO be $1,000. 2021 MM 5117 AO be $500 on each count. Conditions are all the same on each case. You have no contact with the victim in this case. You must maintain separate residences from all the victims.
Yes, sir.
You are to not return to the scene of the location where this incident occurred. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement, retrieve any personal items you have in any of these locations.
Yes, sir.
You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons and firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You also may not possess or consume any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. You have a great day, sir.
Thank you. You too.
Your Honor, so to clarify, for the one that is domestic in nature, to have the separate residences and a one-time return and the no return?
Well, it happened at the Tiki Resort, so I don't know if he left anything at the Tiki Resort, so I ordered him not to return there. So I gave him a one-time return to any one of the locations, any shared residence, or to the location where this incident happened. I don't know if he left wallet, keys, something, whatever, at the resort. He got a one-time return to go get his stuff and can't go back after that.
Understood. Thank you for the clarification.
All right, have a great day, sir.
Thank you. You too.
Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Mary St. Just.
Sir, you're here in case 2021 CF 8743AO on charge of battery, dating violence, aggravated assault with a firearm, domestic violence, and grand theft of a firearm. Did review the charging affidavit in this case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Are there witnesses for this case? All right. All right, sir, in count one, I'm going to set your bond amount of $1,000, count two, an amount of $3,000, and count four, an amount of $500. Sorry, count one. Sorry, count one, 1,000, count two, 2,000, count three, $500. Condition of the bonds, no contact with the victim, must maintain a separate residence from the victim. One second here. Give you one-time return to retrieve any personal items you have at a shared residence. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons and firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I'm also going to appoint a public defender to represent you in this matter. I don't know what's going on, man. You actually didn't go right and do something crazy right after were done with your juvenile cases.
No.
I don't know what's going on with you, but you're 18 years old, and you need to probably up the value of your life, because the state of Florida is going to put a value in your life to house you, to keep you incarcerated. So you may want to think about upping that value before you do anything that you may think is going to get you arrested.
Yes.
All right? I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
I'll tell them what happened. I mean, that was Ebony Glover. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if we're here for Ebony Glover, she was seen earlier with a sign interpreter. I was going to tell you what happened. I got set a bond in her case. She's not going to have any contact with the victims. If your mom, all right, she has no contact with you. She needs to maintain a separate residence from you. She cannot possess any weapons or firearms. While this case is pending, she has a public defender that's appointed to represent her in this case. All those conditions can be modified by Judge Shoemaker, who's the division judge in this case. And after that, but that will have to happen downtown, not here today, okay? All right, everybody, have a great day.
She's saying something?
Huh?
We can hear you. You have to go over here.
Yes, you can come in.
Can I get in contact with her?
Say again?
Can I contact her?
I would suggest not, because she's not allowed to have contact with you, and it's a one-way street.
My mother,
And
though.
I understand that, but if she violates my court orders, it's not going to matter that you're her mother. So,
And she's mental, so I had to make arrangements for ask my family somewhere. Can she go?
yeah, like I said, you can make those arrangements with her. Those other family members can have contact with her. If she has contact with you, and for some other, like some reason law enforcement is called, she's gonna go to jail. She's not gonna be able to get out of jail because she's violated the court's orders.
Okay.
So you can make arrangements for her, you can do all your motherly duties, but until Judge Shoemaker gives you the go-ahead, which it's a guy dressed in a black robe like me, that she's allowed to have contact with you, she should not have contact with you right now, okay?
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right, have a great day.
You too.
Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Anasia Seeley.
Ms. Seeley, you're here in case 2021 CF 8719AO on charges of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, domestic violence, and battery domestic violence. They reviewed the charging affidavits in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Well, set your bond to count one, amount of $1,000, count
We have a
two.
victim.
Oh, sorry, hello. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
Ron, and last name is Harrigan, Harrigan.
And can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Or you put your hand down. Can you tell me how you know Miss Seeley?
Miss Seeley, she's my girlfriend.
All right. And do you want to have contact with her while this case is pending?
Yes, sir.
Has there been previous instances of domestic violence between you all in the past?
No.
Did drugs or alcohol play a role in this particular instance?
No.
How often do these disagreements like this happen between the both of you?
Repeat that? I didn't hear you. Can you repeat? I didn't hear you.
How often do disagreements like this happen between the both of you?
I wouldn't say often, just sometimes, just.
What sometimes? Like once a month, once a year, 2 times a week, once a day?
Probably once a month. I mean, only if, we get into like an argument about our relationship, but it's not really often. I can't really put like a date on it, and like how many times it happen a month, a week.
All right, State, you got any questions for the witness? I'm kind of on the fence about.
One, Your Honor, as a follow-up to yours. You said it happens approximately once a month or so. Does it usually turn violent, or is it usually just arguing?
Most of the time it's just arguing.
Okay, so it's usually not physical? Okay,
Yes,
and you stated that you do want to have contact with her?
yes, ma'am.
Are you afraid for your safety at all?
No.
And if she were to be released and allowed to have contact with you, you would feel comfortable with her coming back to your residence?
Yes, most definitely.
Okay.
All right. All right, see, we're going to do this. We're going to have a real trust moment at this time. I'm going to set your bond and count one amount of like $1,000. Count two, $500. Condition of your bond is you be subject to pretrial release supervision. You'd have no hostile contact with your boyfriend. Now, I'll explain to you what this means. You can have disagreements with him. You can be unhappy, left the toilet seat up. He made a mess he didn't want to clean up, or he's not generally treating you in the way you want to be treated. However, those disagreements cannot turn violent. They cannot turn threatening. There can be no abusive language used, because it's like this situation where somebody can hear you guys arguing, or somebody that sees you all arguing, and they feel like they're going to call law enforcement, or whether he calls law enforcement. If that happens, you're going to be arrested. You're going to spend a lot of time here with me at the Orange County Jail on a no bond status. You understand that? I can't hear you.
Yes, sir.
You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. We want to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case.
Can I say something?
You ask Ms. George a question, because everything you ask me is on the record.
Hi, Mr. George.
Have a great day, ma'am. Have a great day, sir. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Deja Adams.
Ms. Adams, you're here in case 2021 MM 5127 AO on charge of battery domestic violence. Did review the charging affidavit in this case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in this case in amount of $500. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. You to have no contact with the victim in this case. You must maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. Now, it says here on your application that you make $500 a week, $700 a week.
Roughly.
All right. You're not going to qualify for the services of the public defender in this case, so you're going to have to hire your own attorney or represent yourself. You have a great day, ma'am. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Alexander Costa.
Mr. Costa, you're here in case 2021 MM 5126 AO. On charge of battery domestic violence. I did review the charging affidavit in your case. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
Teresa Costa, Costa.
All right, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? All right, keep your eyes on me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you put your hand down. Can you tell me how you know Mr. Acosta?
He's my husband for 16 years.
All right. Do you want to have contact with him while this case is pending?
Yes, please. I have 2 children. I need him at home.
Has there been previous instances of domestic violence between you all in the past?
No, sir. This is an isolated event.
All right, so all right. Did drugs, alcohol play a role in this incident?
No, absolutely not.
Can you?
No.
All right. How long have you been living at this current address that you?
We just moved to Orlando about a year.
Okay. And you've been living at the same address?
Yes.
Do you have any questions for the witness?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. George?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Costa, I'm going to set your bond in count 1, an amount of $250. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. You're going to have no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I'm also going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. Do you have any questions about your no contact order, sir?
I don't understand if I can go back to my house or not.
You can go back one time with law enforcement, yes.
And what's going on after that? Because we just moved here about a year ago. I'm restarting a business. I don't know what to do.
Where'd you move from?
We moved from Houston.
From Houston?
Yes, sir.
That's a big city. All bigger than Orlando, much bigger than Orlando. So you're trying to tell me that you don't know how to function in a city smaller than the city you just moved from?
I don't know how to function it without my...
Okay. All right. Have a great day, sir.
Excuse me, Your Honor, can I say something, please? About the no contact rule, can I appeal it? Because,
Well, you can talk to Judge Wayne Shoemaker, who's your division judge. He's always, my orders always can be modified by him, but based on the charging affidavit I read, the statements made by your neighbors, more particularly, is you only been here for a year, and they are concerned for your safety. But
my
so,
neighbors, they weren't there at the scene yesterday. I don't understand.
well, my concern is not just really what happened today, it's what's going on what I can predict is going on in the future and what's happened in the past as well. So I don't want to, like, it's better off just like for you guys to take a little cooling off time, him not to have contact with you versus him violate my orders, and then he's not going to be home for a longer period of time than that. So,
Yeah, I understand. So if he posts bond and he gets released today, how do I set up arrangements for him to stay? Where's he gonna go?
well, he's a grown man, one. Two, he has an attorney representing him that can help him do that.
Okay, it just makes it more difficult for us.
All right. Have a great day. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name? Mr. Daly, you're here in case 2021 MM 5118 AO on charge of battery domestic violence. Did review the charging affidavit in your case. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
Good morning. My name's Celia Daly, Daley.
All right. Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes,
All right, ma'am, put your hand down. Can you tell me how you know Mr. Daly?
my husband of 11 years.
And do you want to have contact with your husband while this case is pending?
Yes,
Are you afraid of him?
no,
Has there been previous instances of domestic violence between you all in the past?
yes.
When was the most recent one before this time?
This one?
Yeah, before this one.
Before, I think it was like 2 years ago, a year or two ago.
Did drugs, alcohol play a role in this incident?
Yes, alcohol.
All right. And say you have any questions for the witness?
No, Your Honor.
I apologize, Ms. George. I feel like I've been ignoring you. All right. All right, Mr. Daly, in this case, we're going to set your bond in amount of $500. Condition your bond be subject to pretrial release supervision. You to have no contact with the victim in this case. You to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You also may not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You're subject to random drug and alcohol testing at your expense. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. Do you have any questions about your no contact order?
Sir.
All right. Say no or yes? Yes. About the no contact order, now about the facts of your case.
About the no contact order. The property that we stay at, I have some cars and stuff. And how do I get them removed from there?
Okay, so you have cars at the house?
Yes.
What cars you're selling, I'm guessing, based on what I'm looking at your history?
I'm a mechanic, so I have 2 cars there for a customer.
Okay.
How do I get them removed?
You have a one-time return with law enforcement, so.
Okay.
I want to suggest you move quickly or have the customers come get their cars and move them to their house so you can work it over there. Something. All right?
Yes, sir.
Have a great day. Have a great day, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Good morning, Marquise Hayden.
Sir, you're here in case 2021 MM 5131 AO on charge of battery domestic violence. They reviewed the charging affidavit in your case. It did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in this case amount of $1,500. You're subject to pretrial release supervision. You to have no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. We want to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. Do you have any questions about your no contact order, sir?
No, sir.
All right. I got a question for you. Did you complete a batter's intervention program
I believe I have, yes. Yes, sir.
for this last case? Like, when was the last time? When were you enrolled in one?
The batter intervention,
Yes, sir.
2014,
All right. Maybe
2014.
want to sign yourself up for another one. You know, I don't know if you may need a refresher about, what's going on, how you're supposed to be dealing with things, but maybe want to, I don't know where this case is going, that case is going, but just for your own personal well-being, you may want to sign up for one. All right? Have a great day, sir. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Kelly Evener.
Ma'am, you're here in case 2021 MM5123AO on charges of battery, dating violence. They reviewed a charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. All right, gonna be my audience, you gotta cover your face out there. Did find probable cause for your arrest, gonna set your bond in this case amount of $250. It's gonna cover pretrial release supervision. You have no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return if you have a shared residence with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. Give me 1 second. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. Do you have any questions about your no contact order, ma'am? All right. You have a great day, ma'am.
Hello.
Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Fanny Nader.
Ms. Nader, you're here in case 2021 MM5115AO on charge of battery domestic violence. I did review the charging affidavit in your case. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
Wilfredo, last name's Nader, Nater.
Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, can you tell me how you know Ms. Nader?
We've been married for over 30 years.
All right. And do you want to have contact with her while this case is pending?
Yes.
Are you afraid of her?
No.
Has there been previous instances of domestic violence between you all in the past?
No. Arguments, but.
Well, you've been married for 31 years, huh? I'm going to guarantee there were some disagreements in that time.
Can I be?
Did drugs and alcohol play a role in this particular instance?
I had drank earlier.
All right. Can we get one question? Say you have any questions for the witness?
No, Your Honor.
And Ms. George?
No, Your Honor.
All right, what do you need to tell me?
I feel like I should have been on the other side because I provoked her.
I don't, I mean, people are in control of their own actions. I mean, they're not, are two separate things, like, about, what people choose or don't choose to do or how to react to things. That's called emotional maturity. So that's not something that I'm not really concerned with right now. Ms. Nader, I am going to set your bond amount of $100. It's going to cover pretrial release supervision. You'll have no hostile contact with your husband. Now, like I said, you've been married for 31 years. There's going to be some issues that come up in marriages that you've been married that long. However, those disagreements, those arguments, those things you don't like about a certain situation cannot turn violent. They cannot be turned threatening. There can be no abusive language used because if that happens, and whether Mr. Nader calls law enforcement or somebody that sees or hears you all arguing calls law enforcement, you're going to be arrested. You're going to spend a lot of time here with me at the Orange County Jail on a no bond status. You understand that? You all possess no weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. You have a great day, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Karma Nelson.
Ms. Nelson, you're here in case 2021 MM 166 AE on charge of battery dating violence. Did review the charging affidavit in this case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in this case, amount of $1,500. Condition of your bond is that you are to have no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You are on probation out of Volusia County.
Yes, sir.
In case 2020 CF 10299. You're also arrested on view violation of probation in that case. Of course, going to stay that bond at $0 as to that matter. Want to appoint a public defender to represent you in this matter. You have a great day, ma'am.
Can I ask one question, please?
I'm going to have you talk to Ms. George because everything you asked me is on the record. So give me, hold on.
Okay, thank you so much. You have a great day, sir.
All right, have a great one. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Morning, my name is Colin Sams, Your Honor.
Sir, you're here in case 2021 MM 5140 AO on charge of battery dating violence. I did review the charging affidavit in your case. It did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in this case in an amount of $1,000. Condition of your bond, apologize. Set your bond in this case in an amount of $250 is going to cover pretrial release supervision, that you have no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. All right, it says here that you make $600 a week.
Actually,
All right. And your liabilities here, is that $2,300 a month? Or is that?
yeah, I pay rent and I was splitting rent and bills with the victim also.
All right. You know how much you have in your savings account?
Pardon me?
It says you have a savings account. How much is in there?
Around 13,000, Your Honor.
You got a checking account? Is there a separate checking account? How much is in that? How much is in the checking account?
I just got paid $1,200 and something on Thursday of this week. That finished.
All right, yeah. I don't think you're gonna qualify for the services of the public defender. So you have to hire your own attorney and or represent yourself as to this matter. All right. You have a great day, sir.
I didn't hear that.
You're not gonna qualify for the services of the public defender. So you have to hire your own attorney, like private attorney, or you have the constitutional right to represent yourself in any criminal matter. It's up to you, okay? All right, have a great day, sir. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name? Cover your face. There you go. Tell me your name, sir.
My name is Kelvin Sinanan, sir.
All right, sir, you're here in case 2021 MM5141AO on charge of battery domestic violence. They reviewed the charging affidavit in your case. It did find probable cause for your arrest. This page doesn't qualify for PTR. We're waiting.
His fingerprints have cleared and he has no history, so it will be up to you.
All right.
Is it potentially due to his citizenship status? No. With that, okay.
Is what?
Citizenship status, I didn't know if that played a role.
He's from Guyana, but as long as he wasn't, probably an immigration hole or something like that popped up. But if he's a legal resident, I think he should qualify. All right. All right, sir, I'm going to set your bond in this case amount of $250. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. You to have no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at this location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You also may not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. Do you have any questions about your no contact order? All right. You have a great day, sir. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Ramesh Shunath.
What's your full name?
Ramesh Derek Shunath.
All right. All right, sir. You're here in case 2021 MM 3199AA on charge of battery. I did review the charging affidavit in your case. It did find probable cause for your arrest. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
Devi Mohabir, Mohabeer.
Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, ma'am. Can you tell me how you know the defendant in this case?
I'm sorry?
How do you know the defendant?
He's my boyfriend.
And do you want to have contact with him while this case is pending?
Yes.
Are you afraid of him?
No.
Has there been previous instances of domestic violence between you all in the past?
No.
Are you aware of his previous domestic violence history?
No.
State.
I believe most of it's out of state. One second. There are 2 open within Orange County. There is a 2015 BAT 1 prior domestic violence from 2015, a 2014 felony BAT 1 prior domestic violence from 2014, another 2014 battery 1 prior domestic violence, a 2014 misdemeanor BAT, a 2007 misdemeanor battery, and that is all within Orange County.
You may want to check CCIS. Let's get an aggravated battery, domestic violence charge from Florida. Then another New York case, aggravated assault, conviction.
That's all I had from CCIS, Your Honor.
Would be considered aggravated battery here in Florida from New York. So, ma'am, knowing that, you still want to have contact with this defendant?
Yes.
Say again?
Yes.
All right. Did drugs, alcohol play a role in this particular instance?
No.
All right, sir, case 2021 MM 319AA. We're gonna set your bond in this case amount of $2,000. It's gonna come with pretrial release supervision. You to have no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. Now, in any of these other cases, were you required to do a batter's intervention course? Did you ever complete one? You may want to sign up for one. I don't know where it's going on with that case, this case is going, but just for your personal well-being, you may want to sign up for one of those classes. All right, want to appoint a public defender to represent you?
In the 2007 misdemeanor Orange County bat DV case, it was ordered in the plea offer.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever completed one, but you may want to take a refresher course. That you remind yourself of what the skills are and tools you need to have to deal with certain situations, all right? All right, everybody have a great day. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Anthony Jerome McWhorter II.
Mr. McWhorter, you're here for an out-of-county warrant from Osceola County. Judge in Osceola County case set your bond at no bond on charge of aggravated assault, domestic violence. Also orders you have no contact with the victim and don't return to the scene of the location. The Osceola County case is 2021 CF 2082AO. So we'll hold you at no bond. We'll get you down to Osceola County tomorrow to see the judge. All right, you have a great day, sir. I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you as well.
Reeves is outside medical, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Reeves, going to appoint a public defender to represent her.
I'll waive the appearance, Your Honor.
All right, this case is 2020 CT 1478 from Lake County. Her bond's $2,000, so she can bond out or be sent to Lake County. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Gene Rolak.
Mr. Rolak, you're here in case 2021 CF 16826AO for a violation of probation. They reviewed the judge signed your warrant, set your bond at no bond. Your bond's going to remain at no bond. Sir, you're a violent felony offender of special concern. You're not going to be entitled to release on this case until your violation of probation goes to hearing. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. You have a great day, sir.
Reeves just showed up, Your Honor.
All right, we'll talk to her in a moment. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
George Anthony Santos.
Mr. Santos, you're here in case 2008 CF 787 on charge of violation of probation. Judge signed your warrant in your case, set your bond at no bond. Your bond's going to remain at no bond in this case. You, sir, are a violent felony offender of special concern. You're not going to be entitled to release on this violation of probation until your violation of probation goes to hearing. We're going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. You have a great day, sir. This Ms. Reeves? Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Kimberly Reeves.
Ms. Reeves, I called your case a few moments ago. You're here in case 2020 CT 1478AO on a Lake County warrant. Judge in Lake County set your bond amount of $2,000. Your bond's going to remain as set. I appointed you to public defender while you're here in my custody until you get you over to the Lake County. You have a great day, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Last one I have is Rincon. All right, this is
Conference August 9th, 9 a.m., courtroom 4A.
Please tell me your name.
Carl Dale Jackson.
21MM 5004. Ms. George, your office represents him in this
no valid driver's license, and no motor vehicle registration.
Jackson.
Yeah, it's near the back.
Okay. Your Honor, when I went back there, he wasn't brought up yet. They were still waiting to bring him up, so if I can just have a second to talk with him.
Yes.
For the record, Your Honor, the offer was an adjudication credit time served and cost of investigation of $124.68. That was to OPD.
Your Honor, so Mr. Jackson would like to resolve the case today. I just briefly went over all the rights that were given up to him. If he has those rights, we would like to accept the state's offer.
Please raise your right hand.
Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, Mr. Jackson, you heard what Ms. George just said. Is that what you want to do here today?
Yes, ma'am.
I understand that you didn't have much time to speak with her. Are you able to read English?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, she has a plea form in front of you, and it explains all the rights that you're giving up if you enter this plea. I'd like you to take a minute and review that form, because I need to make sure you understand those rights and see if you have any questions. Did you have a chance to review that form? Do you have any questions for me about those rights? You understand all the rights you're giving up if you enter a plea of guilty or no contest today.
Yes, ma'am.
You also understand that if you're on probation, this plea could violate that.
Right.
And if you're not a U.S. citizen, you could be deported. Has anyone threatened you or promised you anything other than the state's offer to get you to enter this plea?
Ma'am.
All right, at this time, how do you wish to plead to the charges of
No contest.
no valid driver's license and no motor vehicle registration?
No contest.
I'll accept your pleas. I find them freely and voluntarily made. I'll adjudicate you guilty on both counts, give you credit for the 27 days that you've been in custody. I have to order that you pay court costs as well as $124.68 cost of investigation to Orlando Police Department. Thank you. How long will it take you to pay all of that?
At least 2 or 3 months.
If I give you 6? All right, I'll give you 6. I'm not trying to set you up for failure. I just want to make sure that you have enough time. All right, I'll give you 6 months to pay that. You have any questions for me?
Yeah.
Good luck, sir. You have 30 days to appeal in writing.
Thank you, ma'am.
21MM 5021, Ms. George, your office represents him. I find his refusal a willing waiver of his appearance today.
I'll enter a plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
Division 81. Pre-trial conference date is August 20th, 9 a.m., courtroom 4E.
I feel like she was waiting for me to do that, and I was like, I don't have the cheat sheet. All right. 21MM 309, also your client, Ms. George.
I'll waive and enter a plea of not guilty.
Division 82, pre-trial conference is August 30th, 10:30 a.m., courtroom 10B.
Madam Clerk, you said 8:20?
8:30.
30, thank you.
Please tell me your name.
Donald Sweat.
21MM 5139, you're here charged with trespass on property after warning. There is probable cause. Was there an offer in this case? I'm asking the attorneys.
Yes, Your Honor. An adjudication of guilt, credit time served, and no return. I did speak to Mr. Sweat. He understands the rights he's given up and would like to accept the state's offer here today.
Please raise your right hand.
Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you understand all the rights you're giving up if you enter a plea of guilty or no contest today?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions for me about those rights?
No, ma'am, I'm good.
You had an opportunity to speak to an attorney about them. Do you understand that if you're on probation anywhere, this plea could violate that?
Right.
And if you're not a U.S. citizen, you could be deported?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you don't have any questions for me about any of this?
No, ma'am, I'm not on probation and, or anything. I'm just, it's just, anyways, I'll accept the plea.
All right. At this time, how do you wish to plead to the charge of trespass on property after warning?
No contest?
I'll accept your plea. I find it's freely and voluntarily made. I'll adjudicate you guilty, give you credit for the 2 days that you've been in custody. I have to order that you pay court costs. I'll give you a year to pay that. And I'll order that you're not allowed to return to.
It's Carl T. Langford Park at 1808 East Central Boulevard.
You understand you can't go back there?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck, sir. You have 30 days to appeal in writing.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
Please tell me your name.
Judge, my name is Irving Johnson. The detective literally gave me a different name, a name that 40 years ago, when I was associated with Islam, I used. My name is Irving Johnson, and I presented my identification, my Florida identification to him, as well as some other documents when I was arrested. He intentionally, so that it could add some more strength to this, because I picked up a prostitute and
Don't talk about the facts.
Okay.
So, okay, hold on. Let me explain to you why you're here. So this is just your initial appearance hearing. We're going to talk about, I'm going to tell you that there is probable cause. I reviewed the affidavit. Then we're going to talk about bond conditions.
Okay, miss.
But I have to, hold on.
Judge, probable cause
Hold
is
on.
not evidence. I didn't commit a crime.
Sir, listen to what I'm telling you. I need to know your name so that I make sure I'm reading the right probable cause affidavit. So your name is Irving Johnson, but you used to go by Yusuf Furquan?
No, I never went by that name.
No.
No, I never went by that name.
Okay.
40 years ago in 1989, when I was associated with Islam and I got arrested for a case in 1989, I defiantly used my Islamic name.
Okay.
That's never been my legal name. And also, Judge, when I got arrested just 2 days ago, I presented my ID, everything to the officer. I didn't even know what I was being arrested for, but he was just trying to build a case and put a lot of stuff against me. So this one, Judge, I picked up a prostitute.
Don't talk about the facts. Do not.
But miss, I'm being charged with sexual battery and I didn't do anything. I didn't even know I was going to be arrested when I was riding my bike home. So I'm being victimized here.
Just for the
Well, let me appoint the public defender's office. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you.
just for the court's consideration, he has been deemed incompetent in his out on bond cases by Judge LeBlanc. And he does not meet the criteria for commitment. Your Honor, so I'd just like to.
When did Judge LeBlanc sign that order?
Yes, Your Honor.
No, when?
Oh, when? I believe I have 1/15 of 20, January 15th. Let me just make sure that's the right date. Because sometimes I put down the evaluation.
Being incompetent to proceed and. Yeah, I know about that.
It was 1/15/20. It was an order finding the defendant incompetent to proceed and placing,
Okay, so it was right.
it was 1/15/20, and placing him on conditional release in his out on bond 19 CF 14976 case.
All right. At this time, sir, there is probable cause in this case. Your bond is going to be $50,000. You're not allowed to have any contact with the victim. Do you understand what no contact means?
Well, Judge, she initiated, I mean, when I had contact with her, I understand what it means now. Yeah,
Right.
but I'm saying this incident that what I'm accused for now, she initiated this in my cell phone, or I can prove this, and the detective took my cell phone so I wouldn't be able to fight my case.
No, so that's what they do when they arrest everyone, is they take their cell phone and put it in. It's in a safe place right now. So, but here's what's going to happen. I've appointed an attorney to represent you. You're not allowed to have any contact with this woman while you're in custody or out of custody. I'll order that.
Can I bond out, miss? I'm sorry. Okay.
I mean, are there any other conditions the state would request? She's over 18.
And I believe it occurred at his house, so.
Right,
no,
it's
Your
his
Honor.
house. All right. However, I am going to revoke your bond in 2019 CF 14976. It sounds like you think you have some defenses to this case, which you may have. This is not an evidentiary hearing, so what you need to do is call the number on that piece of paper as soon as possible, talk to your attorney about any defenses you may have. They can raise those with the state and then ultimately in front of your trial judge. But we can't do that today.
Okay, but Judge, so I can bond out, or can I?
You can bond out in this case, but I revoked your other case. So you're out on bond. I revoked that bond. So at this time, even if you post the bond in the other case, you will not be released.
But I'm saying, I'm not on bond on that case. I'm on I don't, it's like some type of,
I revoked it.
confident.
He's incompetent to proceed, Your Honor.
Yeah.
No, he was found incompetent in January, and it's July now.
No,
So here's what's going to happen. Your attorney is going to have to file a motion in front of Judge LeBlanc. Judge LeBlanc will then order another evaluation, but I'm not going to release you today on that case.
But, so this bond that you gave me, I can't bond out, you saying?
Correct, you cannot.
So why do they?
Please tell me your name.
Reginald Hall, Jr.
21 CF 8717. You're here charged with first-degree murder with a firearm. There is probable cause in this case. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you. Ms. May, did you wish to be heard?
Yes, Your Honor, given that he's facing a punishable by life offense, state is asking that you hold him no bond pending an Arthur hearing.
Yes, I will do that. At this time, you'll be detained with no bond pending. Your attorney is going to file a motion in front of the trial judge and have a full hearing in front of that judge. However, even while in custody, you're not allowed to have any contact with any witness in this case or the victim's family members. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck, sir. All right, 21 CF 8728, thank you. Petty theft, 2 prior convictions. There is probable cause. I find his refusal a willing waiver of his appearance today. Ms. George, I am going to appoint your office.
Yes, Your Honor.
His bond is $1,000, no victim or witness contact, and no return.
Clark bonded, Your Honor. And that's your variant bonded.
Clark and Heckavaria? Yes. Thank you. Please tell me your name.
Jolie Jones.
Okay. You're here in 21 MM 5138, charged with assault and criminal mischief. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you. There is probable cause in this case. Your bond is $500 on count 1 and $100 on count 2. You're not allowed to have any contact with the victim in this case. Do you understand what no contact means? You can't possess a weapon, firearm, or ammunition. I'm going to order that you have to maintain a separate residence, and I'll allow a one-time return with law enforcement to gather your belongings. But you're going to have to talk to your attorney about how to make all that work. It's a little complicated, Ms. George.
One thing, I don't know how I get assault when I ain't touch nobody.
Get close to the microphone.
He said he doesn't understand how he got assault.
Assault is a threat. It's placing someone in fear of an imminent battery. So battery is if you touch someone, assault is if you threaten to do it. I also show that he might be a sex offender. I don't know if that's accurate. But if you are, sir, make sure that you maintain your sex offender reporting requirements. All right, good luck, sir. So are we doing this one later?
Spanish interpreter.
Oh, there we go. I just asked about that.
morning, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Your Honor. This is Laura Arroyo, State Certified Interpreter, already previously sworn this morning.
Good afternoon. Please connect with a headset.
Yes, Your Honor. 1 second, please.
Thank you.
See?
Connection is established.
Thank you. Please tell me your name.
Cesar Robinson. Robinson.
Cesar Royson?
Robinson.
Robinson. Sorry.
Is that right?
Coming through. Thank you.
That's okay. I can also read it, so I can hear him and I can read it, so I thought I would help. All right, sir, you're here in 21 CT 5257 and 5258, charged with driving under the influence and no valid driver's license. There is probable cause. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you. Your bond is $500 on count 1, $100 on count 2. You can't drive without a valid Florida driver's license. Do you understand?
Correcto.
Correct.
You can't possess or consume any alcoholic beverages or any controlled substance without a valid prescription. Do you understand?
Correcto.
Correct.
All right, good luck, sir.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Any other interpreter cases? I believe that's all we have for you. Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome, Your Honor. The interpreter will disconnect.
21MM5134. Counselor, I'm going to appoint your office.
I'll waive the appearance, Your Honor.
Okay, there is probable cause. Would you like me to order that she be screened for mental health pretrial release?
Your Honor, I'm not sure why she's mental health, but, oh yeah, Baker. Yes, Your Honor, if not, I would just ask that she's placed on, if she does not qualify for mental health pretrial release, that she's placed on regular pretrial release. I believe my client is transient, she's homeless, so I would just ask.
Right. All right, I'm going to have her screened for mental health pretrial release. Then if she doesn't qualify, regular pretrial release. Then if she doesn't qualify for that, bond is $500 on count 1 and $100 on count 2 with no return. Sir, please tell me your name. All right, you're here in 21MM5125, charged with trespass on property after warning. There is probable cause. Was there an offer?
Yes, Your Honor. The offer was an adjudication of guilt, credit time served, and no return. I did speak to Mr. Owens. He understands all the rights he would be giving up, and he would like to accept the state's offer here today.
Please raise your right hand.
Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
All right, sir. You had an opportunity to discuss with an attorney the rights that you would be giving up if you enter a plea of guilty or no contest. Do you understand those rights? Do you have any questions for me about them? You understand that if you're on probation anywhere, this plea can violate that. And if you're not a U.S. citizen, you can be deported. All right, at this time, how do you wish to plead to the charge of trespass on property after warning? I'll accept your plea. I find it's freely and voluntarily made. I'll adjudicate you guilty, give you credit for the 2 days that you've been in custody. I have to order that you pay court costs, and I'm going to order that you're not allowed to return to Maxwell Terrace Apartments. You don't live there, right? Okay, so you know you can't go back there. All right, do you have a job, sir?
I'm working on it.
You're working on it? Court costs is around $300. How long will it take you to pay that? 1 month? I'm gonna give you 6. How's that? All right, I'm gonna give you 6 months to pay it. Good luck, sir. You have 30 days to appeal in writing. I need some of y'all's gloves for this, because I keep having to sanitize my hands. They're smarter than we are. Please tell me your name.
Emmanuel Bartholomew Strickland.
21 5124. You're here charged with petty theft. There is probable cause in this case. Is there an offer?
There was not, Your Honor, due to it potentially being enhanceable.
All right. At this time, I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you. Your bond is $500. You can't return to Publix at, do you have the address?
Yes, Your Honor, it's at 400 East Central Boulevard.
All right, you understand you can't go back to Publix?
Yes, ma'am, I do understand this. May I talk with my attorney for one moment?
Yes, sir, you may. This is for you. Oh. Can't get under the table.
You can bond out your bond. Then call the number.
Thank you.
Yes, sir, good luck. Please tell me your name.
Jonathan Patrick.
You're here in 21 MO 842, charged with disorderly conduct. There is probable cause. Is there an offer?
Yes, Your Honor. The offer was a withhold credit time served. I did speak to Mr. Patrick. He understands all the rights he would be giving up, and he would like to accept the state's offer. Additionally, I did speak with him about the out on bond case and the fact that you could potentially revoke, Your Honor. However, I would just ask that because he's resolving the case, in that case, he's already signed a plea agreement. They're going to plea it out at his next court date, that you take no action on the out on bond case.
All right, sir, please raise your right hand.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, self you got?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down now. You had an opportunity to discuss with an attorney all the rights you'd be giving up if you enter a plea of guilty or no contest. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions for me about them?
No, ma'am.
Were you able to review that form that's in front of you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so that clearly tells you all the rights that you're giving up. You have any questions about it?
No, ma'am.
Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol today?
No, ma'am.
You understand that if you're on probation anywhere, this plea can violate that.
Yes, ma'am.
And if you're not a U.S. citizen, you can be deported?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, at this time, how do you wish to plead to the charge of disorderly conduct?
No contents, ma'am.
I'll accept your plea. I find it's freely and voluntarily made. I'll withhold adjudication, give you credit for the 2 days that you've been in custody. I have to order that you pay court costs, and I'm going to reduce that to a lien. And I'm going to order that you're not allowed to return to, I'm not going to order that, never mind. Good luck, sir. You have 30 days to appeal in writing.
No action on that.
No action on the out-of-bond case. Please tell me your name.
Police Cali.
21 CT 5256. You're here charged with no valid driver's license. There is probable cause. Was there an offer?
Not at this time, Your Honor, due to the nature of the stop.
All right, I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you. Your bond is $500. You understand you can't drive without a valid Florida license?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck, sir. Please tell me your name.
Rickes Snell.
A capias was issued for your arrest in 21 CT 3951 for failing to appear for a pretrial conference on a charge of driving while license suspended with knowledge. The bond on that capias is $2,000. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you. Good luck, sir. Please tell me your name. 21 CF 8721, you're here charged with grand theft of a motor vehicle. There is probable cause. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you. Your bond is $2,500. You can't have contact with any victim or witness in this case. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm revoking your ROR in 21 CF 2919. Good luck, sir. Please tell me your name.
Bruce Francis Bland.
A capias was issued for your arrest in 20 CF 14783 for failing to appear for a status hearing on a charge of possession of cocaine. The bond amount is $1,000, and I'll appoint an attorney to represent you. I'll take no action on the out on bond case. Please tell me your name.
Jessica Ford.
21 CF 8706, you're here charged with possession of cocaine. There is probable cause. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you. Your bond is $1,000. You can't have contact with any known drug dealers or possess or consume any controlled substance without a valid prescription. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck. Whatever. Please tell me your name.
Kevin Holmes.
21 CF 8720. You're here charged with grand theft of a motor vehicle. There is probable cause in this case. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you. Your bond is $2,500. You can't have contact with any victim or witness in this case. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
At this time, I'm revoking your bond in 21 MM 413. Good luck, sir. No. You can post bond in the grand theft case, but you won't be released. Please tell me your name. You have two cases. 21 CF 8748, where the charge is attempted homicide. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you in that case. There is probable cause. And in 21 CF 8732, you're charged with possession of firearm and commission of a felony, shooting at or into a building, and resisting an officer without violence. There is also probable cause in that case. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you. Does the state wish to be heard on bond?
Your Honor, given the attempted homicide, it's only an F2, so she is entitled to a bond. I'll just ask for a bond that is high in conjunction with the offense that is before the court, and given the facts of the case, it seems like there are many other people within the building, many of which were witnesses that helped detain Ms. James. So I just asked for a high bond, given her criminal history and given the gravity of the charge.
Ms. George, was there anything you wanted to say?
Your Honor, I'll just point to the fact that her last conviction, her last failure to appear was in 2006, and she only has one. Her last conviction was in 2017. So I'd ask that you take that into consideration when setting bond.
All right, in 21 CF 8748, your bond is $100,000. You can't have contact with any victim or witness in this case. Do you understand what no contact means? You can't possess a weapon of any kind, firearm, or ammunition. Was the shooting allegedly into Panino's Pizza?
I believe they were in Panino's Pizza.
All right, you can't return to Panino's Pizza. And then in the other case, your bond is $5,000 on count 1, $5,000 on count 2, and $100 on count 3. Again, you can't have contact with any victim or witness. You can't return to Panino's Pizza. You can't possess a weapon of any kind, firearm, or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Good luck. Thank you. CF 10868 is a capias. I find his refusal a willing waiver of his appearance today. I'll appoint the public defender's office, and there's no bond. 21 CF 8741, again, I find his refusal a willing waiver of his appearance today. I'll appoint an attorney. There is probable cause in this case. His bond is $1,000 on count 1, $500 on count 2, $500 on count 3. No contact with any witnesses, not return to the scene. And then 21 CF 1941, I'm revoking his bond.
Tennessee Lafferty is mental health.
20 CF 7995 is a capias with no bond. I'm going to appoint your office, Ms. George.
I'll waive the appearance, Your Honor.
All right, and then in 19 CF 17590, it's another capias with no bond. I'll appoint your office in that case as well.
I'll waive the appearance, Your Honor.
In 21 MM 5128, there is probable cause. I'll appoint your office.
I'll waive the appearance, Your Honor.
His bond is $500, no return. Please tell me your name. It looks like you have a warrant out of Duval County. It's a writ of bodily attachment. The bond or purge amount is $1,500. If you can't post that, we'll notify them that you're here so they can come get you. In 21 CF 8714, you're charged with possession of cocaine and drug paraphernalia. There is probable cause for those charges. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you. Your bond is $1,000 on count 1, $100 on count 2. You're not allowed to possess or consume any controlled substance without a valid prescription or have contact with any known drug dealers. Do you understand? At this time, I'm revoking your bond in 21 CF 5727. Good luck, sir.
Your Honor, being that it's a nonviolent offense, I would just ask that if you are inclined to revoke, you revoke in double. It appears that, other than that charge, his last conviction was in 2019 for a driving offense, and his last failure to appear was in 2017.
Is the driving offense driving while license suspended, and is it suspended for drug convictions?
That I'm not sure. It just says knowingly operating a driver driving while license
I
suspended.
believe it's a DUI suspension, Your Honor.
What says the state?
Your Honor, I'll leave it within your discretion. I understand defense's argument regarding it's a drug charge and he picked up a new drug charge. So state has no objection. I'll leave it within your discretion.
And it seems as though a lot of the convictions are connected because the driving while license suspended is for substance abuse. A conviction for driving under the influence.
Yes, Your Honor, I believe there's been at least 4 prior dualises, all 893 and DUI related generally.
He was released in June.
Okay, I didn't see that. I just saw the March of 2019.
All right, I'll set that bond at $2,500 with the same conditions. Good luck, sir. That's easy. Please tell me your name.
Noah Lynch.
A warrant was issued for your arrest in 21 CF 8750, charging you with felony battery. Another judge has already found probable cause. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you. Your bond is $5,000. You're not allowed to have contact with a victim in this case. Do you understand what no contact means?
Cannot talk to her.
You can't speak to her, you can't call her, you can't send a text message, you can't contact her on social media or send a message through friends or family. You also can't have contact with any of the witnesses in this case. You can't possess a weapon of any kind, firearm or ammunition. Where did this take place? Do you live at this location?
Yes, I do. I'm not at the place it happened, but I live in the same building, up 4th floor.
Does she live there?
No, she lives in a different building.
You can't be within 1,000 feet of her residence. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
All right, good luck. Please tell me your name.
Jesse Majors.
21 CF 8739. You're here charged with possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, grand theft of a motor vehicle, and possession of MDMA. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you.
Yes, ma'am.
There is probable cause in this case. Your bond is $4,000 on count 1, $150 on counts 2 and 3. You can't possess a weapon, firearm, or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You can't possess or consume any controlled substance without a valid prescription or have contact with any known drug dealers. Good luck, sir. Please tell me your name.
Antonio Leonard or Jr.
21 CF 8710. You're here charged with aggravated assault with a firearm and open carrying of a firearm. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you. Did you wish to be heard, Ms. George?
No, Your Honor.
There is probable cause. Your bond is $10,000 on count 1, $1,000 on count 2. You can't possess a weapon of any kind, firearm, or ammunition. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
You can't have contact with a victim in this case or any witness. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you work at that 7-Eleven?
No, ma'am.
Okay, don't go back there.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other conditions the state would request?
No, Your Honor.
Good luck, sir.
I think he does travel for work because he's a truck driver. I just want to make sure that's okay while he's on release.
Just don't miss court dates, because if you miss a court date while you're traveling, a judge will issue a warrant for your arrest and you'll be held at no bond. So keep in touch with your attorney.
My license. Okay.
Good luck. Yes, sir. (21 CF 8729 and 8730). I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent him.
Your Honor, I'll waive the appearance.
There is probable cause for both charges. His bond is $1,000 in 8730. No victim contact. No weapons, firearms, or ammunition. In 8729, $1,000. Not possess or consume any controlled substance, and no contact with any known drug dealers. I'm revoking 21 CF 3361. Please tell me your name.
John Snyder.
21 CF 8736. You're here charged with tampering with physical evidence, possession of drug paraphernalia, and soliciting without a permit. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you.
Your Honor, in this case, me and Ms. George have already kind of talked about it. I believe it's a attempted tampering. I believe it is alleged that Mr. Snyder just threw it on the ground. Therefore, it'd be an attempted to the officer seeing it and being able to reobtain it.
Is that a misdemeanor?
No, Your Honor, it's still a
Third-degree felony? All right, I had the same question, so I'm glad you've already resolved it. Ms. George, is there anything else you want to be heard on there?
No, Your Honor, that was.
All right, I am going to find that there's probable cause for attempted tampering of physical evidence, possession of drug paraphernalia, and soliciting. The bond is $500 on count 1, $100 on counts 2 and 3. You can't possess or consume any controlled substance without a valid prescription. Do you understand?
Yes.
You can't have contact with any known drug dealers.
I think you said 5.
All right, good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Please tell me your name.
Daquan Walker.
A warrant was issued for your arrest in 21 CF 8752, charging you with sale or delivery of cocaine. The bond is $7,500. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you. You can't possess or consume any controlled substance without a valid prescription or have contact with any known drug dealers. In 21 CF 8726, you're charged with possession of MDMA. There is probable cause for that charge as well. Your bond is $1,000. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you, and it's the same bond conditions. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Good luck, sir.
Behavior, Your Honor.
21 MO 843. Ms. George, I'm going to appoint your office in all of her cases.
Yes, Your Honor, I'll waive the appearance. And just for your consideration, she has been deemed incompetent on her out on bond case, I believe August 19th of 2020.
2020?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. All right, there is probable cause in both of her cases, 21 CF 8733. It'll be $1,000 on count 1, $150 on count 2, and I'll treat the open container as a subsidiary, $100 on that as well. She's not allowed to possess or consume any controlled substance without a valid prescription or any alcoholic beverages. I'm going to revoke her bond in 20 CF 000011. Thank you. Please tell me your name.
Joseph Williams, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. 21 CF 8749. You're here charged with driving while license suspended or revoked and fleeing or attempting to elude law enforcement with lights and sirens activated. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you.
Your Honor, as far as the bond goes for the fleeing and eluding, I would ask that he's placed on pretrial release in this case. He does qualify, and I would just point to the fact that when you read the arrest affidavit, the officer notes he was going at a normal speed. My client stated he did not hear him. So due to the fact that he was not speeding, he was driving the normal speed limit, I'd ask that you take all of that into consideration.
What says the state?
In regards to the defense's argument, I believe he continued at normal speed for a certain amount of time, and then other times, I believe he was said to do 20 miles per hour. He was said to do 10 to 15 miles per hour. And the officer notes that he had his lights activated, as well as his siren, as well as hitting the air horn, as well as completely saying over the public address system, pull over numerous times. I understand the defendant, when he got out of the vehicle, stated that he did not see the defendant behind, or the officer behind him. However, he is driving on a DUI suspension, and this went on for approximately almost a mile. The officer notes it was 0.7 miles. Some points at normal speed, some points at 20 to 10 to 15 miles per hour, which arguably would not be normal speeds on the roads that he was traveling until he got to the neighborhood that he eventually stopped in. But I'll leave it within your honor's discretion, given that it wasn't a reckless driving fleeing, which is often what we see.
So I have that his last conviction was 7 days ago for driving while license suspended, and that he was released from DOC in 2019 for first-degree murder. Is that what y'all have as well?
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
Can I say something, Your Honor?
Can I talk about the fact?
You can say anything you want, but I want to make sure you understand that everything you say is being recorded and can be used against you. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You can tell me anything you want to tell me. You don't want to now? Okay. That's fine. I just have to make sure you understand that. All right. How does this qualify for pretrial release?
I really don't know how they qualified him.
I don't understand how it qualifies, and I'm not going to do that. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. Your bond is $2,500 on count 1, $2,500 on count 2. Based on your attorney's arguments, I reduced the bond amount significantly from what I was going to say. But sir, you understand that you can't drive without a valid Florida license?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
Please tell me your name.
Marcellus Willis.
All right, sir, in 21 CT 1332, you're here charged with reckless driving. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you. There is probable cause. Your bond is $500. In 21 CF 8727, you're charged with possession of cannabis with intent to sell or deliver, possession of cannabis less than 20 grams, possession of drug paraphernalia, and resisting an officer without violence. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you in this case as well. Your bond is $1,000 on count 1, $100 each on 2, 3, and 4. You can't possess or consume any controlled substance without a valid prescription or have contact with any known drug dealers. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
At this time, I'm revoking your bond in 20 CF 14707. Good luck, sir. Is there anything else before court is adjourned?
Nothing from the state.
Nothing from defense, Your Honor.
Oh, it looks like Ms. Arlene has something. No. Oh, no, just kidding. Okay, thank you.